Okay, let's just start with where we were last Friday. So last Friday, this piece of paper, I asked you guys for ideas and just kind of went through and you guys just poured out these amazing ideas of stuff to build your businesses in bad markets. I mean, I was niche target to engage, 50% lead gen and follow up, mindset, think big, keep your relationships with other agents, price, natural and adaptive, ways of being, embrace the suck, affordable housing, pivot the way you approach consistency. It just goes on. And I only hit like maybe half of them. It just goes on and on and on. It's brilliant what you guys came up with. So to that end, so hold that thought in your head. And then I want to circle back around and ask you guys what, if you did any part of doing videos, and I don't care what level, because there's no judgment on any level. I don't care if you did it every single day, if you didn't do it every single day, if you never did it, if you did any part of it, including even just letting the idea bounce around in your head a little bit, what good thing came out of that?
You said what good thing came out of doing the videos?
Or out of just, yeah, either doing the videos or letting the idea bounce around in your brain for a little bit or all that. I don't want to hear, I don't care about unless I learned a lesson because I didn't do that and the thing I learned was this. What I want to know is what you did learn out of it.
I learned that people really do want to hear what you say, what you have to say. And the more you do it, the better you get at it.
That is excellent. That is excellent.
And they're not critical of how you look. It's your problem. So it's my problem. Like,
yep.
Amen to that one. Like, they don't seem to care, which is weird because I am hypercritical. All right. Anything else that you guys got out of it or learned out of it? Okay, I know you were mostly gone. You were in Israel. You learned all kinds of stuff in Israel. All right. Anything else that you guys got out of that before we move on to third section?
Can I make a comment on that real quick?
That's why I'm asking.
So I ran across a video from Gary Vee yesterday, just a short video. It was like 5 or 6 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about, like, if you did a video, he challenged the audience to go and do a video, 12 videos, when they left. And he said, do 12 videos a day, put them anywhere, just, short reels or whatever, just a little short thing. Put them on, as many social media sites or whatever as you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just said, like, for one, you're one of the only ones doing it. Mm-hmm. And then two, by the time you've only done it a few times, you're so far ahead of the competition.
He's right.
Yeah, so that stuck with me yesterday. So I know I got to get back to doing it. I have that planner. I'm gonna plan it out and I'm gonna start doing the video. And now I won't do 12 a day, but I'm definitely gonna get back to doing the videos and I'm gonna do them daily.
I love that. I love that. I learned, thank you for that, Craig. I learned that the two lessons you guys said, absolutely, definitely 10,000%. I also learned that people seem to like it when I do the podcast stuff. And I don't feel like, I constantly feel like I'm not bringing enough value. Like, how do I up this? How do I up this? How do I up this? And I sat down and my husband actually pointed out something. He goes, are your audiences cross audiences? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if you're doing this message for this group, and this is basically the same group with, a little minor variation, like the Venn diagram would overlap like this. He goes, you need to come up with another message. If it's this, then you don't, or, this, then you don't need to worry about it as much. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. I do. And so there's just this constant thing of, do I bring enough value? But the feedback I get is good. So I'm like, all right, let's keep on doing it. But even beyond that, I also learned, if I'm going to do a podcast, what my job is to bring to the table. That was huge. I didn't understand that I had my job to bring to the table. And that's like that's huge. Like, oh, I got to prepare and I have to, oh, okay, I get it. Now I get what I'm supposed to do. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm also really grateful to the people who let me cut my teeth on their stuff so I could learn it. Because the only way to learn it is to flipping do it. I mean, you know, there's no other way to learn the lesson except for go do it. So, all right. So okay, so you guys got some good stuff, regardless of whether you did it every day or not. I didn't. I mean, as y'all well know, I started straight in with COVID. Okay, so this is the message that I really wanted to get out, and then I thought of a kind of a cool way to do this, and that takes into account the things that I'm not good at either. So the thing that I wanted to say is twofold, and I believe this with all my heart. I completely and utterly believe that, one, you guys are all geniuses, as evidenced here recently, and as evidenced by all the stuff that we talk and engage with and interact with anyway. You guys are geniuses. And the second thing, and that doesn't mean we all have like Einstein IQs, whatever the heck that is. That means that we are diverse enough in our niches of what we do and where we do it and how we do it, that there's no Pareto principle for us. There's no 80-20, and that's the second part. There's literally no 80-20 rule of 20% of the realtors do 80% of the business, because we're not on the same playing ground. Like, you're the best where you are, and Bree's the best on this team. Bree's the best with working together with the affordable housing, putting together what she's put together so far. Craig's the best leading that, because he's going to be leading the entire group. Anna's the best at what she's putting together in Texas. Kay with what she's been doing on the rental side. Liz with what she's doing with student housing and everything. Kimberly, we're going to see. It's amazing, but I think it's going to be your new construction thing, because we don't have, and we're all in different places. So there's no Pareto principle, and I believe you're all geniuses. And I believe that you guys have the opportunity, and I really do mean this, to change the world. And you get to define your world. Your world is as big or small as you want to make your world. It's your world. And you have everything within you to be able to change that world in a positive and an amazing manner. So putting all of that together, you guys are flipping brilliant. You're geniuses in what you do. You already know and have the answers inside yourselves, as evidenced by the fact that you guys are going the directions that you all are going, which is all so diverse and wonderful and different. We're not cookie cutters at all. So you guys know that you have it inside you. And the things that we learned out of the video challenge, and my weakness, is I suck at tracking other people's stuff. Like, I suck at it. I want to do it. I want to help. And then I've fallen short pretty much every time. I'm just not good at that part of it. So here's what I thought would be kind of cool. And then the thing that I do love, let's put that in there also. I love games. I love games, puzzles, toys, all that kind of stuff. If it's a puzzle or a game, I'm like, oh. And especially if there's a game or a puzzle that really doesn't have a whole lot in the like instructions section. Like, there's a puzzle. Is it back here? Oh man, I must have put it away. Hang on. Oh, well, it's a puzzle that I have that came with 0 instructions. It just had 5 colored bars, and you have to figure out, and I've never won it yet. It has 100 levels, and I only gotten to like level 40 or something like that. There's no instructions. There's no anything. There's nothing. It just, when you push these things, each one lights up a different color and a different tone. And then you have to figure out the entire thing. And a puzzle.
I like putting furniture together.
See, I love that. Have you guys ever played the game 100 Doors or heard of it? It's a phone game, 100 Doors. Okay, 100 Doors is along the same concept. So it shows you a screen and there's a door, and you have to figure out how to open the door. And there's no instructions. There's none. So it ends up being really fun because it uses like motion also. So some doors you have to slide it this way and slide it that way, your iPad or your phone, to get it to open up. And I'll never forget being on an airplane one time and playing that stupid game. And I love it. And the guy next to me is seeing me take my iPad and go like this, and go like this. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's this game. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's a strength of mine and then a weakness of mine. So here's what I thought we would do. So there are 7 of us. I thought what I can do, never mind. I thought it would be really, really cool for each of us to pick our own thing for the next 6 weeks that we want to track for ourselves. So I have a really good free tracking thing that we can all log into individually on our own and put in our thing that we want to track. But I thought it would be really cool if we track 2 things. One, something that is important to you in real estate that you want to go after. And it can be, it's you are flipping brilliant. You pick your thing. That's the first one. And then the second one, I thought it would be cool if as a group, we pick one thing that we track, and it could be anything, but as a group, we will decide what that thing is. And the second one is sort of, the first one is what we want to track. The second one is sort of a thing that we track that measures our success of what we want to define as our success. And it could be anything. Like, I'm just going to open it up and you guys can figure it out. So I'm going to share my screen and I am going to, here we go. This is the one I want to share. Okay. Can you guys see just a blank piece of paper here? You're driving. Okay. Don't look.
Yes.
But thank you. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'm going to put down what your ideas are of what you guys want to track, to track.
As a group or individually?
Individual, just as your individual thing. What is it you want to track? And then we'll talk together about what we want to track as a group. So who's got something that they're like, I would really love to track this?
Ten new conversations about real estate a day.
10 new convos a day. Okay.
I like the idea that Gary had as far as doing different type of videos every day. Mansion Mondays, I think it's Tours Tuesday. So I got out and I did like a tour of Hollywood Beach area and living area one day and shoot a video. So I want to make that my daily goal, to do a video every day with a different theme.
All right, hang on, let me get over here. I love it. Vid a day, different thing. Got it. Perfect. All right.
I would revise that just slightly for myself, only because I know I'm not going to be able to do that. But I would love to allocate one day a week to batch filming videos, but I absolutely need all kinds of tracking, all kinds of accountability for this, because I have totally botched this, to be honest. It's been like the first thing to go, and I know it has to be the first thing to come back for me to consistently do. So I don't know if we could do this as a team. Maybe the team tracking thing would be maybe video filming. That would be amazing.
Yep.
Or it could be the individual, but I would do one day of batch filming, because I know I'm not going to be able to do a video a day.
I like that, Anna. I need that too.
Yeah, I like it also because my schedule when I first was in real estate was a daily schedule, but then as my business grew and you have kids and everything else going on that you've got going on, my schedule had to become a weekly schedule. But a weekly schedule is the schedule that propelled me sky high. And I still to this day try and follow somewhat of a weekly schedule. It just works a whole lot better, you know, for me personally. So, okay, so 1 day a week batch film vids, got it. All right, who else do we got? What do we got?
Well, this is Kay. I know I want to do a minimum of 25 calls per day.
Got it. All right. I got Craig up there thinking.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
I know, because you get to come up with it on your own. It's your definition of what you want to do. I have mine too.
I think I'll, do lead generation. So I need to commit to a certain amount of calls per day. I'll do 25 a day as well.
Got it. All right. Liz, can you talk? Ooh, Kathy's coming on too. Haha, we're gonna get Kathy in on this. I love it when people come late and I'm like, ha, you're on the hot seat. What are you gonna do? Looks like Liz cannot talk. Not seeing where Liz can talk. Okay, that's fine. We'll circle back around with her. For me, I'm gonna do 2 convos a day because my conversation, because of what we're talking about and where we're going, they're usually an hour long. And that is why I tend to avoid them because they're an hour long or sometimes longer because we just deep dive into some really deep stuff. So I'm going to commit to 2 convos a day, 5 days a week. Okay, Kathy.
What?
Hey.
Hey.
So here's what we're doing. And there was a lot of prep, which you missed, so you have to go back and go watch it. But the basic gist of it is for the next 6 weeks, what is something that you want, some goal you want to go after that you say, this is what's important to me in real estate that I want to make sure that I'm doing. And it can be anything. It doesn't matter what, it's yours. So we've got everything from videos to how many conversations we want to do a day to, it can run the gamut. It can be anything, just something in real estate. And it can be like, I only have 2 conversations on mine. It can be small.
Well, mine's going to have to be.
That's more it's your goal. It's not anybody else's. It's just yours.
Right. Conversations a day is okay. I mean, it all sounds simple enough when you put it there, right? I will say for right now, and if I'm able to adjust this, I will, but I will say 3 conversations a week.
3 convos a week. Perfect. Okay. Love this. All right. So I'll build out a tracker board and then we'll all get that tracker board so that we can track our stuff. And then every Friday, a different person kind of just we'll go through our numbers, and then they'll also kind of talk about, how it's going with them, with their stuff that they're doing and all that. Right now, as a goal for all of us.
Liz said that she's going to do a goal of 10 a week.
Say what?
10 calls.
10 calls a week.
3
Liz
years.
is going to do 10 calls a week.
Oh, okay, perfect. 10 calls a week. Got it. Thank you for that, honey. Okay, now, as a, Kathy, I'm going to mute you. There's a lot of noise behind you. So anyway, now, so these are perfect, and it's exactly what I wanted to go for myself also. These are lead measures. So lead measures are the measures you can't really tell that they're working. You just know that if I do these, they will work. And then also there's leg measures, and leg measures is, okay, I know I hit my success because I hit these leg measures. And a leg measure might be in manufacturing, it might be a dollar amount you make, or it might be, we produced X amount of, we sold X amount of units or whatever. It's just, it can vary depending upon the industry and what leg you want to track. So as a group, what measure, and because my business is weird, once we have it, if mine doesn't quite fit in, I'll make something so that it does fit in that we all agree on. But what do we want to track? Like, this is wide open to you guys. We can vote on it. We can kind of figure it out. But what do you guys want to track?
Signed listing agreements or buyer representation agreements.
So we've got signed listings or buyer reps. Okay. So who else has got some ideas of what they would like to track as a group? Because we're going to vote on it. Come on, y'all. I know you got opinions. For you personally, what do you
quality leads?
Say what? Say what, Anna?
Quality leads.
Quality leads.
I don't know.
Quality leads. Okay. What else we got?
Maybe
Say it again, Bree, darling. You alien.
Consistent engagement. You know, like follow up. I don't know.
Engagement. Okay. Does anyone else have anything?
Liz says lead gen sources.
Okay. Do we have anything else?
Time blocking
How
our
about
schedule.
adding 5 people a week to your database?
A week in the database. Okay. Does anyone else have anything that they think would be good for us to grab onto for a week as a leg measure?
Scheduling, maybe following our time blocks.
Okay. Anybody else got anything before we start digging into this? You guys ready to dig? Let's dig. Okay, so where I got this idea to do this entire thing was from Montessori schools and the Socratic method of teaching. So Montessori schools are pretty much you work what is your passion and you want to work on. So that's the beginning of it, of setting that thing. And then of what we want to work on, because we're smart cookies and we know what's best for us. I mean, who better knows us than us? The Socratic method is asking questions. So it's not telling, it's asking. So as I'm going through this, I'm going to ask some questions for clarifications. So signed listings, that's a pretty, I think that is a pretty measurable one. Buyer rep agreements, I think, is a pretty measurable one also. Quality leads, how would we, like someone help me define what a quality lead is so we can kind of get that.
What I was thinking of is like maybe conversations with people who may not necessarily be in your pipeline for immediate purchase or sale, but they're, within the next, I would give it a maximum of 3 months. I hate tracking anything longer than 6 months. So I would say conversations with people who are either interested in listing or buying, and they have the financial capability, the credit score, whatever additional criteria you might have on your end to get it going. Or maybe if it's a seller, they're doing, final pre-list workup on their homes, things like that, as opposed to just limiting it to people who are just ready to get started right away.
Okay, perfect. So combos or pipeline
leads.
Yeah, so they can transact within 3 months. Is that right?
That's what I was thinking, but
Perfect.
Obviously I'm open to whatever suggestions you guys have.
This is just asking questions, so we got clarification. You have an opinion. I love it. This is exactly what we want. Consistent engagement. Someone help me so I can wrap my brain, or so we can all kind of wrap our brain around what that actually, like, quantify that for us. Quiet. All right, let's go to lead gen sources. Can we quantify that one?
I would think consistent engagement is just following up with everyone, basically anyone, just follow up with your sphere, with buyers, anyone that's just keeping in contact, consistent engagement.
Got it. So consistent engagement would be all of our follow-up is always done every day or every week or whatever it is. By the end of the day or the end of the week, our follow-up is done. Yes, no?
These all seem related to me.
Bring it on, Kay. Give me your opinion. What do you think?
Well, they all seem to be steps to getting to a signed listing or a buyer rep. I mean, I wrote down when you first told us to do this, I said, okay, what are the things I'm not doing that I need to do? Well, number one is get organized, but that stays with me. But, I need to take better track of my time. I need to do my 25 calls per day. I need to do more docking, and I need to do follow through. I mean, And, you know, half of those things are up there
Yep,
in one way or another.
yeah,
It really breaks down to 2 or 3 things that if you just do it every day, you will get signed listings and buyer reps.
yeah.
And why I am not doing it, I don't know. Part of it I know is energy, and I'm just beginning to feel like I'm getting my energy back. So
Well, yeah, and that's natural, the ebb and flow, especially with having the surgery and all that kind of stuff. There's just a natural, you know, there's an ebb and flow there. Okay, perfect. So these are all steps towards the buyer rep. Anybody else have any other opinions, thoughts, or anything about quantifying maybe lead gen sources or following time blocks or anything else before we decide what it is we're going to track?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hear from the group. I understand if you're looking for someone who's going to buy, you know, you ask them, you know, to get pre-qualified. I get that part. But if you have someone that's sort of iffy, wants to do maybe a rent to own, or, you know, you think they want to buy in a year, but you need to help them with a rental now, do you just ask them for their finances, or how do you get their financial qualifications? Because I've been, you know, asking the question, do you have this? Do you have that? And they say, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you get down to it and they can't produce it. So I know I'm stumbling over seeing it first before I waste a lot of time showing them around.
Okay, I want you to hang on to that because I want to come back to that.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, because I know we have ideas around that. I know we do. So I want to get with this and get this thing, and then let's toss out to the group. All right. Is there anything else for I hate the black bars that Zoom gives me. Is there anything else for quantifying or questions anyone has, or anything about any of the sign listings, buyer reps, quality leads? So someone who can transact within 3 months, following up with everybody, lead gen sources, 5 people a week in the database, following time blocks, and all of this being steps towards listing and buyer reps. Any other input for anybody? All right. What do you guys want to do? Out of this group, is one of these something that you guys want to do? If it is, which one is it? Do you guys like shout out which one you like, and let's actually just vote on it and figure out which one we're going to track as a team? We'll track this one, which is intended to be the representation of our success for doing these things up here: our conversations, our videos, our calls, lead gen, etc. So what do you guys want to track? And it can be anything. This is your guys' thing, not mine.
I vote for the 3-month pipeline only because a lot of my conversations and a product of the daily work that I do, I can't always translate to number of listing agreements and buyer reps, only because there are people who may not necessarily be ready at that time. But I do want to track it somehow, and so I would say the 3-month is a good timeline for what my intended purpose of the marketing is to get people within that 3-month window.
Okay, so you want to track your pipeline. All right, cool. What so that's what you think we should track as a group. All right, who else has got a vote? Or y'all have a vote, so let's hear what you guys want to vote on.
Hi, this is Liz. Sorry, I'm late chiming in.
Please, what do you guys do?
I just want to clarify my lead gen resources list to say I'm trying to see for tracking purposes what's working best for people in terms of getting the leads in: direct mail, funnels, cold calling, Sphere. So that's what I wanted to add to my chat there.
Got it. So you're really looking at lead gen sources and the ROI on them.
Yeah, because there's a lot of opportunities and offers that have come my way, either doing it via a marketing standpoint with the funnels or buying leads. And I'm really having a challenge making a decision to where to put the dollar spend to yield the best results.
Okay, so you want to track your ROI.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so out of this group, and if you were going to vote for something for since you are going to vote for something for the entire group, which one of these as a leg measure of success would you be tracking? Sign listings, buyer reps, pipeline, follow-up, ROI, people in the database, are following your schedule. It's really what these are.
I mean, I like the lead gen ROI, and I'm still, the ultimate goal is sign listings and buyer reps. They just all lead to the same thing, but I'll go with
Right.
whatever the group wants to.
I was gonna say the same. I'd probably stick to here, and I'd probably do the ROI and the,
Well, let's do that then. Let's do this. Is that it? Sign listings and ROI? You guys can vote a couple times. I don't care. It's your guys' thing. So do you want 2 votes?
mm,
What do you
I
want?
want 3.
What's your third one?
Conversion pipeline.
Pipeline. Okay, perfect. All right. So, Kay, did you want sign listing? What, Kay? I'm sorry. What did you want? Did you want both?
I said ROI and listing or buyer reps.
Okay, so
I
we
mean,
got.
I'm just tired of doing all this work and not seeing any results. And to me, that's the result.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, and you said sign listings or buyer reps?
Yeah.
Okay. So-
Something signed that says I'm going to get paid.
Okay, so let's go that way. Okay, perfect. All right, who else we got on here? That hasn't voted yet. Is Craig still
Yeah,
on?
I'll do lead gen and then the sign listings, buyer reps.
So you like the sign listings and then the Legion,
Yeah, because I
the
think
pipeline
those just
or the ROI?
the ROI.
The ROI one you guys like? Okay.
Yeah.
Kathy, which one do you like? I don't think I heard from you. Oh, hang on. I got to ask you to unmute. Sorry. Muted her and then I asked her a question. I am so rude. Yeah, Kathy, what you got?
That's okay. I feel kind of lost with this. To me, what I've heard so far, I think that the ROI and the pipeline is going to determine everything else. If those things are in place, then I think you're going to see more signed listings and buyer reps. So I guess that's kind of what I would go for.
Okay. And then Bree had to jump off because she had something and turns out she's probably going to be the tiebreaker on all of this.
And actually,
yeah.
if you can back me out on it because I haven't heard this whole thing and I hate voting on things when I don't know the whole story.
You have heard plenty and you are fine.
Yeah,
Okie dokie.
Kathy.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like we
go
have...
ahead and mute me back.
All right, I'm gonna mute you. You're hilarious. All right. Okay, so it looks like we have signed agreements, pipeline, and ROI. Okay, out of those, I mean, we definitely have 4 for ROI, 3 for the other 2. How are we? Do you guys feel like it's ROI that we want to track as an overall group, or is it like any more input on this?
Yes, I want to vote for ROI and sign listings, buyer reps.
All right. Thank you. Forgot. Sorry, sweetie. All right. So we're definitely down to sign listings, buyer reps, and ROI. All right. Now I'm going to toss it back to you guys. Those are our top 2. ROI has 5 votes and sign listings, buyer reps has 4 votes. Even if Bree voted on any of the other ones, we're still going to have these top 2. Although we might have a 2-way tie if she just voted for the sign listings. So since we have those top 2, do you guys want to track both of them? So there's 3 things you'd be tracking. Do you just want to circle in and we just do the ROI? And if we just do the ROI, what does that look like for tracking? You got to help me so I can understand also how we're going to track that one.
Well, I mean, with the ROI, I think I'm like Kay. I think it, comes back to, how many signed listings and buyer reps we'll get out of that. Anyway, because we're doing the lead gen and we convert, we are going to get those signed listings and buyer reps.
Okay, so I've got you leaning harder towards this one, is what it sounds like, because the ROI.
No, I really like the ROI.
All right.
Because I think,
okay.
Because I think with the ROI, I'm going to be able to convert I get the leads from the lead gen sources, convert those leads ultimately to get signed listing agreements and buyer agreements.
Okay.
One thing I would say about the ROI is that's going to force us to know what we're doing or what lead source we're seeing results from. And I have not been good at organizing what I'm doing to really look at that from an ROI standpoint. So that would help me.
Neither have I.
Got it. I got it. Okay. This is beautiful because, okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So we're going to ROI and we're going to sign listings. And I got it now. When I wanted to go back through and check my ROI, with the way that I did it, which I think the beginning of my third year. Yeah, I think it was the beginning of my third year because my business exploded and suddenly I had a ton of business. And so what I did, maybe it was the end of my third year, actually, I went back because I had whiteboards and the whiteboards had, every single transaction. And then I had another whiteboard for closed and I just literally had the whole list of all the closings. And then what I did is I looked at that list and I got the brilliant idea of writing down a little column that said source. And so it had all these sections of closed deals, like, I don't know, 4 columns or something. And then I just drew a little thing and I wrote S above it. And I wrote down my source of every single closed transaction. And that's when I realized that 97% of my business came from cold calling at 1-year-old expires. That was how I did it and tracked it. So it is trackable fairly easy, as long as we add a source to where we're getting our signed listing and buyer reps. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm not doing.
Yes. All right. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to build the tracker board. And what we're going to do is we will, I'll build it and I'll get it all. Okay. Ava will build it. But we'll get it out to all you guys and you'll have it by end of day today. So I will totally commit to that. For me, I am going to track, I got to figure out how to track I can track my ROI and I don't know how to track my signed listings or buyer reps. I got to figure out how to do that. I guess I'll figure out and I'll put a note on there of how to track my signed listing and buyer reps right now because the class, actually I can do it. We've pushed back the data.
Sign up for class.
That's it. Exactly. How many people are in my class? All right, cool. So I'll make sure that mine lines up with your guys's. Okay, we'll build a tracking board now. And then you guys can go in and take care of your own tracking every single day. You'll have that and you'll be able to throw it in. It'll be super easy. Just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's what it is. And we'll just run the 6 weeks. Now, who wants to have the conversation and kind of report back on all of our numbers? Because you all have the tracking board. Who wants to report back on all the numbers and then maybe talk a little bit about whatever came out of it for next week? Because we'll just take turns.
So we're going to do that on next Friday.
Yeah, so we'll track starting, you'll get the board today and then we'll track every day. And then someone next Friday who'd like to kind of read back through the numbers, go and then just kind of go through whatever it is that they've gotten out of it and whatever conversation that kind of comes out of that.
This going to be like a shared board that we can all see.
There'll be a shared board we can all see because that would be transparent. Yes.
I vote for Bree since she's not
I knew
here.
you were going to do that. You're not going to do that. Pretty dang funny though.
Yeah, I'll call her and tell her, hey,
already. So you guys, who wants to do that?
I'll do that. I'll do it.
You're my leaders. All right, cool beans. Okay, we will get this out to everybody. I am super excited about this. And I literally got the idea from, I was listening to a podcast and this guy built over 300 schools now using the Socratic method and the Montessori method. He put them together. Because of the way he built this, the students actually teach themselves and others. It's one-room schoolhouse. Like I said, there's like 300 of them. And it started out with just 36 kids in grades like K through 6. And because there's no Pareto principle, because this kid is like 10 years old, he goes, I got a 10-year-old that's amazing at calculus. He goes, he tutors the older kids. He tutors the high school kids because he's really amazing at calculus. All of us are amazing at something. It removes the 80-20 Pareto principle completely and just allows us to shine at what we're really good at shining at, which I love because it's a big world and we're unique. And I want to love celebrating the different unique weirdness of everybody, because that's the part that makes it so much more interesting. So cool beans, y'all.
Hey, I need one of those pills.
One of these 3 pills that I'm taking.
No, I need one of those limitless pills from the
Ah,
movie.
you're limitless in and of yourself and don't need a pill. So
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, well, it's a true statement, and yep, it is absolutely true statement. The only limit, I don't even know if we have a limit. I don't think we have a limit. If you
We
look
only- The
heroes,
only limit is what we put on ourselves.
that's all it
Exactly
is.
what I was gonna say.
Exactly. Because if you look at true heroes, all of them are flawed. All of them had limits, and all of them did whatever that they did anyway, because the world's always changed through one person. It's never changed through, it's always starts with one human being. Just
Yeah.
going, I'm gonna, you know, I
I
believe in,
will say from my trip in Israel,
yes.
God used many flawed people. And the only time they made a mistake is when they didn't ask him for help.
Amen. There you go.
See, Kay?
So I was really studying real estate those 3 weeks.
I love it. I was watching a bit of the WikiLeaks, Julian Assange last night. I was watching a little bit of that with mom. Husband was out of town. So I was watching a little bit of that with mom last night. And I can't figure out, I never could figure out why they went after him. And this is just my opinion, and I know it's controversial, but I could never figure out why the government's gone after him so hard with what he did, because a lot of what he released was public information, or should have been public information anyway. But the problem is, and the only thing I can think of is, he's a danger, perceived danger. He's a perceived danger because he really believes what he's doing is right. And when you have a moral assurity, right or wrong, I mean, we've been wrong with things that we thought were our morals. But when you have that sort of that fire that this is the right thing to do, and therefore I must do it, I don't know how you stop that from a human being. You know what I mean? I don't know how you stop a Martin Luther King or a Harriet Tubman or anybody else that's gone out there and done amazing things, when they feel morally this is what has to be done. And then that's what you have to do. It drives you. If you really believe, then your belief, if there's no action, how do I measure your belief? Because there's no action. I don't have any way to measure. But if you really, really, really believe, you can't just sit there, because belief requires action. To say I believe but don't do anything, I would question your belief. I really would.
Yeah.
And to hear, the word to hear requires to listen, requires action also. And we miss that because we go to our kids and we get it when we tell our kids, you didn't listen to me. What we really mean is you didn't do what I said to do. That's what we get it in that construct. Well, we need to get it in our own also. That to listen, to believe, and to love. Actually, I would throw all 3 of those things. All 3 of those are actually action words. And so if you believe, love, and you really, really, really hear, then you will do. You just will. You can't not.
Yep. You're right.
All right. And as evidenced by the fact that you're leading next week.
I don't know how well that is. If I don't make it to class, I backed out.
You are not backing out, because I will drive up to you, because you are not that dang far, and go kick your ass and put you on here. So.
Oh, and the
Yeah.
office space
Yes.
that my friend has, he doesn't have any internet.
Okay.
that's-
So what are you
That's
going to do
be a
about that?
problem.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I can still use the space, but I checked with Verizon, and for me to get a hotspot, I have to get like a whole new
Plan?
line. Yeah, basically.
A whole
That's
new-
not going to be feasible.
Now, hang on one second.
But
Are
can
you
you,
on Verizon's
hold
business
on one
plan,
second.
or are you on Verizon's personal plan?
Personal.
How many people do you know that also have Verizon?
Oh, a few.
So what we did is we put our family on a business plan. And so my phone bill went down I don't know what it was, but it went down to, I don't know, like $60 a month or something like that for unlimited everything. So we all have our own phones. We have insurance across the board. So instead of regular insurance, we pay $50 for as many as like 10 phones or something like that. And we have me, Greg, my son, my daughter-in-law, my daughter, and mom. I think that's it. We have 6 people. You only need 5. And we put them, and because we bundled them together, the whole phone bill for all of us is like $250 for all 6 of us on unlimited everything with insurance. And that's with 2 new phones. You know, there's payments because of 2 new phones out there that the kids have. Total.
Okay. So now what do I have to do?
Do you have a
as
business
far as
license?
the business plan. Okay.
Do you have a business license?
No.
Okay, so I think you might need a business license. I'm not positive on that one, but just contact Verizon and let them know, like, I want to check into a business plan. How does it work?
I have
know
my EIN.
That's what you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you
And
need.
okay, cool.
Yeah, that's all you
Well, I
need.
could use
You
my
need-
EIN.
If you have an EIN, then what I did was I literally just called up the kids and I'm like, how much you paying on your phone bill? And they were paying like, I don't know, 110 each or something like that. Who knows what it was. And I'm like, are you interested in paying less? I could put this together and I think it's going to be like $60 a pop. And they were like, yes. And so, and then I just contacted the other people in my family. I said, guess what? We're on the business plan now. And then I set it
Okay.
up.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely check into that then.
Yep. So there's
Hey,
benefits.
Craig, you can
Mhm.
also use the mobile hotspot from your phone and connect to
Yeah.
your laptop.
Yeah,
Yep.
with mine, I called about that. I will have to actually activate it.
Okay.
And yeah, so
Throttle you after a while too, just to let you know, if you're using it pure for internet at some point, because when I travel, that's what I do too, because still excellent idea, Kimberly. And then I get throttled after X amount. But on Verizon, you can check the amounts and look at where you are, you know, because at some point they will throttle you. They will.
yeah.
If you're
And I
using-
don't know what changed. We changed our plan a couple years ago, I guess. But before, I actually could use the hotspot. Now, since I guess since we changed the plan,
So you're unlimited everything.
yeah,
I mean,
No.
100% free, well, not free, but you know what I mean? Like unlimited, we can do everything. We can go to Canada, we can international, we can do whatever we want.
yeah, we're
That's the kind of
unlimited.
plan my son has
Some
me
kind of
on
way.
for T-Mobile, and it worked everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So just tell me you want unlimited everything all the way across the board, business plan, blah, 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 blah. And
I'll check into the business plan.
yeah. Okay. All right. There's ways. There's always a way.
All right,
If you're determined, you'll find a way to do it.
you're right.
Love it. All right, Mr. Limitless, and the rest of us who are also limitless.
I'm gonna find the pill this weekend.
Here, you want mine? It's a vitamin, but you know, it's calcium too. All right, y'all. Have amazing weekends. Have amazing weeks next week. I'm super looking forward to this. And this is going to be our 6-week experiment to see so I'll set it up for 6 weeks to see what this looks like to combine Montessori and Socratic. And if this is something that works really good for us, we'll all get together and decide, like, do we want to take this to Gary and the entire team and let them know too what we're doing? So I'm really excited to see how our experiment goes.
All right.
Cool beans. Have great weeks.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks. Bye,
You're
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Bye, sweetie.